Hello everyone, this is Dr. Tom Neal. I am the Chief of Evangelization and Mission Engagement for the Diocese of Pensacola-Tallahassee. This is an invitation to you to join us for an exciting upcoming public presentation at St. Paul's Church in Pensacola on September 8th, which is a Sunday at St. Paul's Church in Pensacola, by a world-renowned expert on the relationship between faith, Catholic faith, and science, Father Robert Spitzer. To share this opportunity with you in more depth, I'd like to invite to join me in a conversation Dr. James B. Williams, who is a cardiologist at Ascension Sacred Heart Hospital in Pensacola, Florida, and is a parishioner at St. Anne's Parish in Gulf Breeze. Dr. Jim, thank you so much for being with me today.
It's my great pleasure.
Yeah, it's wonderful to be with you. So Dr. Williams, you have spearheaded, I've been part of the committee, but you've spearheaded this opportunity to bring Father Spitzer to Pensacola to speak on this. So maybe, first of all, why Father Spitzer? Why would you want him to come?
You may know that he has a very popular show on Catholic radio. It's typically right after I get out of Mass. And I've heard him speak authoritatively so many times and so brilliantly. And I don't think I've ever met anyone with more impressive credentials to talk about faith and science. Father Spitzer is a PhD in physics and has debated people like Stephen Hawking. I mean, he's on the highest level and debated about things that are really important. Was there a beginning to the universe, or has it just been here? There's a beginning.
Yes.
Did it happen by chance, or is that virtually impossible? Virtually impossible is the answer. He proposes that the probability of the universe having happened the way it is by chance is approximately equal to a monkey typing the entire works of William Shakespeare perfectly on his first try. It just didn't happen that way.
Yes.
This concept of bringing science and faith together within the context of Catholic Church teachings goes well beyond cosmology. It's interesting. He's going to address, I think, a variety of issues somewhat briefly, but as a cardiologist, it's serendipitous and somewhat ironic that our efforts to prolong life with cardiopulmonary resuscitation, CPR, have gotten so good that we can bring people back who really saw death, and they can tell us about it. And they say things that make it very clear. The body may die, but we go on.
Yes.
So he has subjected, and others have subjected, these reports to scientific scrutiny. I'm not going to give away the details. He's written some things in his book about it. But once again, this can't be by chance.
No, absolutely not. No, and it's so compelling. So, and as we've talked about in the committee, this is for a very broad audience. This isn't just for devout Catholics. So who would you say should come to this?
Well, I can tell you the only people that should not come are the people who are not going to die. And so that's pretty inclusive of everybody else, because it's an experience all human beings are going to have. And the more we learn about what happens then, the more we learn about what we should be doing now.
Yes.
It's like if you were going to make a voyage and you made no preparation, is unfortunately the way so many people approach life, not realizing they're going to go beyond it. And it's going to be connected. Yes. This is one of the points Father Spitzer is going to make. So I really hope everyone who can possibly make it would come. It's at 2 p.m. in the afternoon in the very large sanctuary at St. Paul's Catholic Church. We have lots of room. If there's standing room only, so be it. We'll make you definitely room to get in.
And it's free. People have been asking that. They don't need to get tickets. No. You don't need to make reservations. Just come. And we have it at that church, as you say, because it's so large, because we hope for a very large audience.
We do anticipate a large audience, and from all walks.
Yes. And our bishop also wrote a letter encouraging people to go to this, because he's also very enthusiastic about this. He thinks the conversation of faith and science especially, he knows that especially for young people, this is crucial for why they oftentimes don't come back to church, why they don't believe in their faith, because they believe there's a conflict between faith and science. So he really wants to promote this for that reason as well.
Very valid. You know, as a person who is trained in science, and I came from a very scientifically oriented family, the paradigm in Western culture that has raised science to such a high level is actually invalid. For one thing, science does not try even or claim to be able to find truth. Its purpose is predictive. If you want to know how much air you can put in a balloon before it blows up, we have physical laws that have been discovered about pressure and volume and so on, and you can figure it out.
Yes.
It's never intended to prove where that balloon originated in creation or the materials that are in it or anything like that. I know your knowledge of philosophy and theology is extensive, but this goes back a little bit to Galileo, who kind of got in trouble because he insisted that his knowledge of the motion of the planets absolutely was right. Nothing else is right. Well, what about general relativity? It's not right. Nothing goes around something else. That motion is all relative. You can have the Earth be the center of the universe if you want to. The math's harder. Yeah, the math is a lot harder. But we need to begin to discover truth at a level of knowledge based on experience. And science will lead us to the doorstep, just to the doorstep. And that's what his book is all about. Science at the doorstep to God.
Excellent.
And then it's not a very big step.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Jim. This is a wonderful preview for people. I really hope that people come to this event. It again is on September 8th, which is a Sunday at 2 p.m. at St. Paul's. And I recommend that you get there a little early so you have plenty of time to get good seats. And hear Dr. Spitzer, Father Spitzer, who's also a doctor, he has a doctorate, who is a world-renowned speaker and very entertaining. So I hope you join us. And any last words?
I would just say this is a rare opportunity. Father Spitzer really doesn't do this anymore. It turns out he had a commitment in South Florida for the day before and was willing to alter his schedule and stop here for our benefit. I really think we should come out in numbers. This might be the only time in your life you can see him in person.
Well, thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you there on Sunday, September 8th.